Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. How are you all? I hope you are doing great. And today we are going to study about our solar system, which is an important part of our NDA geography. So without wasting any time, let's begin to our topic. So first of all, we will study about planets. Okay. Planet is a celestial body that move in elliptical orbit around the sun. Okay. And in present time, there are 8 planets, and the Pluto is considered a dwarf planet. Okay. And this C, D and E point, I will explain this by the help of one diagram. So let me show you that diagram. This is our sun, this is Mercury, this is Venus, and this is Earth, and this is Mars. Thereafter a boundary starts, this one boundary. Okay, this boundary is called as asteroid belt. Okay, and after asteroid belt there is Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune and Pluto. And after Pluto a boundary starts, this one boundary. This boundary is called as Kuiper belt. Okay, I have marked this as Kuiper belt. So let me explain you the difference between terrestrial planet and the Jovian planets. So this is the asteroid belt, this one is the boundary you can see. Okay, and before the asteroid belt all the planets are called as terrestrial planets, and after the asteroid belt all the planets are called Jovian planets. For the example, Mercury, Venus and Earth and Mars are called as asteroid belt. Okay, and after asteroid belt there is Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune and Pluto, and after Pluto boundary start, this one boundary, this is called as Kuiper belt. Okay, I hope you got this. So let's come back again to our point. Here C point is that planet of the inner circle is called terrestrial planets, means the planet inside the asteroid belt, means before the asteroid belt these are called as terrestrial planets. Okay, and D point is that planet outside the asteroid belt is called Jovian planets. Okay, and after Pluto a boundary start, that one boundary is called as Kuiper belt. Okay, I hope you got this. So let's move further. Here is the difference between the terrestrial planets and the Jovian planets. Okay, so terrestrial planets are inner planets. Okay, means inside the asteroid belt. These are Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars, and these have rocky nature, and these are smaller in size as compared to Jovian planets. Okay, and it has less number of moons. Whereas Jovian planets are called outer planets. These are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. Okay, and these have gas and icy nature, and these are large in size, and it has more number of moon. Okay, so let's study about our Mercury, which is our first planet of our solar system. So it is the smallest planet of our solar system, and it has a rotation period about 58.65 days, and it has a revolution period about 88 days, which is the fastest of our solar system. Okay, rotation means to rotate on its own axis. Okay, when the planet rotate on its own axis, this is called as rotation, and when the planet revolve around the sun, this is called as revolution. Okay, now the D point is that it don't have any satellite. Okay, means Mercury don't have any satellite. Now let's study about Venus. So it is the second planet of our solar system. So here is the first point that the Venus is known as Earth's twin, morning star and evening star. This is very important point because this is the NDA previous year question. Okay, this point is very important, you have to remember this point. Okay, and B point is that it is the brightest planet of our solar system because of 20% albedo. Albedo means the amount of reflecting the light. For the example, I am going to explain this point by the help of one example. So let's suppose this is our Venus. Okay, and this is the ray that are falling on the Venus. But the Venus will reflect the about 70% of its light, and this phenomenon of reflecting the light in terms of planet, this is considered as albedo. Okay, I hope you got it. Now let's move to the C point. So C point is that it is the hottest planet of our solar system. Okay, because it contains 97% of CO2 in its environment. Okay, and it rotates east to west, and our Earth rotates west to east. Okay, so it is the major difference between our Earth and Venus. That is, the Venus rotates east to west and our Earth rotates west to east. Okay, and the E point is that it also don't have satellite, means our Mercury and Venus don't have any satellite. Okay, and it has the slowest rotation period about 257 days. You don't have to remember the rotation and revolution period, but you have to know this for knowledge. Okay, now let's move further. And it has a revolution period about 224.7 days. Now let's study about Mars. This is known as red planet because it has more than sufficient amount of iron oxide in its environment. Okay, when we talk about rotation period, it is equal to that of our Earth, that is 24.6 hours. Okay, and it has a revolution period about 687 days, and it has two satellites. This is very important because these are the NDA previous year question. So these are the Phobos and Deimos. You have to remember this satellite. Okay, this is very important. It has the possibility of water, therefore the Elon Musk want to establish a community on the Mars because the life can be possible on the Mars. Okay, and the D point is that there is a one mountain called Mount Olympus on the Mars. Okay, and this is the highest volcanic mountain in our solar system. Okay, and that's why this is very important question. You have to remember this. Okay, now let's move further. So now we will study about Jupiter. Okay, so Jupiter is the largest planet of our solar system, and it is also called the Lord of Heavens. The point is that it has the faster rotational period about 9.8 hours. Okay, and it has the revolution period about 12 years. And the C point is that it has 29 satellites, and the prominent one are Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. And the D point is that Europa have living condition like Earth. Okay, and this is also a very important question because we can say that the Europa has living condition, means the life can be possible on Europa, which is the satellite of our Jupiter. Okay, and D point is that Ganymede is the largest satellite of our solar system. D and E point are very important. Okay, now our Saturn comes. It is the second largest planet of our solar system, and it is the least dense, means the density of the Saturn is very less, and it has a revolution period about 29 years. It has a rotation period about 10.3 hours, and it has 82 satellites, and the Titan is the most prominent one. And this is very important because this is the previous year question of IS CSC. Okay, which is the UPSC CSC exam for IS. So that's why this is very important. You have to remember this C point. Okay, and D point is that it has 3 rings, and it has a hexagon shape in North Pole. Okay, now let's study about Uranus. So Uranus was discovered by William Herschel in 1781, and it rotates north to south because it is inclined at 98 degrees to its orbit, and it has a revolution period about 84 years, and it has a rotation period about 17 hours. Okay, and it has 5 rings, and it has 21 satellite. Marinda, Ariel, etc. are the prominent satellite of the Uranus. Now let's study about Neptune. So Neptune is known as the greenest star because it has more than sufficient amount of methane. That's why it appears as green. Okay, and it has a revolution period about 165 years. Just remember that when we go far from the sun, the revolution period will be increased, okay, and the rotation period will be vary. Just remember one point, that when we go far from the sun, the revolution period will be increased, okay. So you have to keep this in mind. Now the C point is that it was discovered by J.G. Gale, and D point is that it has a prominent satellite. Trion and Nereid are prominent satellite of the Neptune, okay. And D point is that Uranus and Neptune are called the Jovian twins, and you have to remember this one point also, that Uranus and Neptune are called Jovian twins, and the terrestrial twins are Earth and Venus, okay. And A point is that it is only for knowledge, it has a great dark spot on pole. Now let's study about Pluto. So it was discovered in 1930, and it has a complex world of ice, mountain and frozen plains, okay. And it is considered a dwarf planet, as I already taught you. And after the Pluto boundary star, that boundary is called as Kuiper belt, okay. And the point is that in 2006 there was a summit called IAU. IAU stands for International Astronomical Unit, okay. And after the summit of IAU, the Pluto was considered a dwarf planet. So D point is also a very important point. Now let's study about home planet, that is Earth. The first point is that the shape of our Earth is the geoid, okay. You have to remember this because this is the NDA previous year question, that what is the shape of our Earth. So answer will be geoid. And the age of our Earth is about 4.5 billion years, and it has one satellite, that is Moon, and the maximum distance from the Sun is 152 million kilometer, and our radius is about 6,371 kilometer, and it has a polar circumference about 40,007 kilometer, and it has equatorial circumference about 40,025 kilometer, okay. I will explain this polar circumference and equatorial circumference by the help of one diagram. So this is our diagram, okay. Circumference from the east to west, this is called as equatorial circumference, and the circumference from north to south, okay, this one called as polar circumference, okay. I hope you got this. Now let's study about important term related to our Earth, that is perihelion and aphelion. So the perihelion means when the distance from the Sun and our Earth is minimum, means it is less, then this is called as perihelion. When the distance from our Earth and the Sun is maximum, this is called as aphelion, okay. You can remember this as perihelion. Perihelion start from P, and P stand for पास in हिंदी, okay. P से होता है पास, therefore we can say that जब सूरज और धरती के बीच में दूरी कम हो, या फिर जब सूरज और धरती एक पास हो, तो उसे बोलते हैं पेरीहिलियन, okay. And when the sun is at the maximum distance from our Earth, it is called as aphelion. In aphelion the distance is 152 million kilometer, in the perihelion the distance is 147 million kilometer, okay. So now let's study about meteoroids. So meteoroids are the space rocks, okay. And when the meteoroids enter in our Earth's atmosphere, they just start burning, okay. And therefore this is called as shooting star or meteors, okay. And the C point is that when the meteoroid touch our Earth's surface without burning, this is called as meteoroid, okay. So I hope you understand the difference between meteors and meteoroid. Once again I am going to explain this. when the meteoroids will be in the space, this is called as meteoroids. Okay, and when the meteoroids enter in our earth atmosphere, this is called as shooting star on meteors. And when the meteoroid will touch our earth surface without burning in the environment, this is called as meteoroid. Okay, if you want this notes, then you can follow me on Telegram as well as on Instagram also. This is my ID. Okay, or you can see the description for the link. See you in the next video. Till then, Jai Hind.